He's a fascist? I don't know what that means, a fascist. It means you are a far right authorization ultranationalist.
Meet Adin Ross. He's quickly become one of the most interesting and bizarre characters online, but you probably already know him. If not from his stream, from one of his hundreds of viral clips over the past few years. From getting into fights, hanging out with rappers, and even flying to Dubai to play chess with Andrew Tate, it's been nearly impossible to avoid seeing his various antics and controversies. And to many people, it seems like he came out of nowhere. He went from averaging less than 100 viewers in 2019 to over 75,000 at the beginning of this year. This didn't just put him in the top 1% of Twitch, this put him in the top 0.0001%. The empire he built was so vast he could just coast off it for a few more years and be set for life. But the same ambition that once drove him to such extreme heights would soon nearly cost him everything. But first, how did we even get here? I've anecdotally heard several people talk about Adin almost like he's an industry plant. That is to say, in their mind, he didn't even exist a few months ago. And in some ways, that's understandable. Adin grew faster on Twitch than pretty much anybody else I can think of. But that's not to say he didn't work hard to get there. Since 2019, virtually every second of his life has taken place in front of a camera, for better or worse. His early years of streaming consisted pretty much entirely of NBA 2K content. It was just him alone in his room with a headset mic.
What the fuck? Stop fucking singing!
Honestly, there was nothing special about his stream. There's probably hundreds of streams just like it at the bottom of every category on Twitch as I speak. But even then, Adin knew he was destined for much more.
I want everyone to look. I'm streaming right now. Shout out to this kid. I don't know who it is, but he's talking to me. He's talking to me. He's a new fan. Shout out to him, man. But look, January 1st, 2019. I'm just gonna let 2019 know I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna make it on Twitch. I'm gonna make it on YouTube. I'm gonna do everything I possibly can to bring me and my brothers to success, because that's all about 2019 is about. Follow the 3 golden rules. Most important, always believe in yourself no matter what. Never give up, and never take anyone's judgment further from your goal. Always follow those 3 rules, and you're gonna get the success that you want. And I'm gonna get there.
And credit where it's due, that's exactly what he did. To get some recognition, he started networking with other NBA creators and bet money on their matches. He'd also start posting highlights of his streams on YouTube. This alone probably wouldn't have gotten him very far if it weren't for the undeniable amount of time and effort he'd put in. During his senior year of high school, he prioritized streaming over pretty much everything else in his life.
You know, senior is like, you're supposed to have fun, go to, all these dances and all these events. I never did any of that stuff. I just stayed home and streamed. I skipped prom. I skipped a bunch of major.
Serious?
Yeah. I was just so determined.
You really dedicated yourself to it.
I did a 12-hour stream. I was gonna skip my own graduation, but my dad was like, okay, nah, you gotta go to that one.
This dedication slowly caught the attention of a few bigger names in the NBA community, including someone named Bronny James. If you don't know or haven't put it together yet, Bronny is LeBron James' son. Adin and Bronny quickly became good friends, and this seems to go beyond just making content together. Through all these connections and grinding out NBA 2K content every single day, Adin began to average over 1,000 viewers a stream. By this point, he was well within the top 500 streamers on the platform, and for many people this would be their peak, but Adin had only just begun. In June of 2020, he had his first viral clip to make it outside the 2K community, when Bronny got his dad to briefly talk to Adin.
What's good, bro?
It's LeBron?
He said, is this LeBron?
It might seem kind of dumb, but this instantly doubled his average viewers to over 3,000, a number he's never gone back under. But at the time, that wasn't guaranteed. By late 2020, the 2K community as a whole was in decline. Adin himself admitted views were down across the board, and nobody was excited about the new release at the time, 2K21. Adin begged the devs to fix various problems with their game, even getting Make 2K Fun Again #1 trending on Twitter. But nobody listened. From his perspective, the ship was sinking, and he had to get off fast. He tried playing other games like COD and notably GTA RP, which did really well for him, but the biggest change in content came with e-dates. Essentially, he'd get fans or other streamers on a call with OnlyFans models and have them just go wild for the chat's amusement.
We the last 2 people on Earth. Who gonna stop me?
Gee,
You're not stopping me.
This move alone brought his average viewers to over 40,000 consistently. Changing his content like this was actually much more risky than it may seem. If you become known for streaming a specific game on Twitch and try to move to another one, a large part of your audience usually won't follow you. But when it comes to Adin, people didn't just like him for his 2K streams. They liked him for his admittedly bizarre personality. core pillar of that personality was built off of what he called sus moments.
I'm taking dicks and that's what's up, and I'm fucking every man, and I'm sticking that cock right up my ass.
The joke is that he's pretending to be gay. That's the joke. The joke is that he's gay. As stupid as it may sound, this genuinely made him more entertaining than most streamers on Twitch. He was also able to bring his group, SSB, up with him. SSB stood for Stacy's Step Bros, wherein Stacy was Aiden's girlfriend at the time. Despite wanting to make SSB a more official org like FaZe or OTK, those plans never really materialized, partly due to petty infighting and partly due to what Aiden claims was the laziness of his friends. SSB just ended up being a blanket name for Aiden's friend group that he streams with to this day. With how fast Aiden was growing, he was able to make a lot of connections outside of Twitch, and 2021 was his biggest year yet. He moved to the LA FaZe house and worked with rappers like Blueface, Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Yachty, the list goes on. He also started making content with a much larger creator on YouTube, Zeus. Around this time, his stream really started to make headlines. In one of their more notable videos together, Zeus would introduce him to Polo G, telling him that Aiden was an up-and-coming rapper. Aiden then proceeded to do his usual antics of pretending to be flamboyantly gay, which caused a lot of static between the two.
I just beat his meat.
Aiden and Zeus would also often get into physical fights, and eventually Zeus allegedly had sex with Aiden's sister.
Your sister has amazing pussy, bro.
That's crazy you're saying that right now.
Around the same time, Aiden would get into drama with Rice Gum over his support for KSI. There probably wasn't a single week around this time that he managed to stay out of the news. It was all very intense, or I guess it would be if any of it were even slightly real. If you've been paying close attention, or really any attention at all, it's pretty obvious a lot of what I've told you so far is fake. I'm sure I don't have to overanalyze why Zeus didn't actually have sex with Aiden's sister, but them playing into the idea that he might have was a really easy way for them to generate a lot of attention for everyone involved, especially Aiden's sister, who opened an OnlyFans account soon after the incident. I'm also sure I don't need to overanalyze Aiden's various fights with Zeus, but just to show you what I mean, we'll take this one for example. Aiden gets pushed into the pool by Zeus after being too zesty around him. The entire scene is very clearly choreographed, with the cameraman waiting for Aiden to be pushed in the pool. It'd also be a real shame if Aiden got his clothes wet, but fortunately he just happened to be walking around in his underwear. As you do. His beef with Rice Gum also didn't make any sense considering it happened while the two of them were living in the same house together. Obviously, a lot of this stuff is played up for content or just outright entirely fake. But if you somehow still need more proof, just take it from Aiden himself in a now deleted VOD.
Telling you guys right now, I'm going back to scripting my shit. I don't give a fuck, bro. You guys can spam WL script. You could spam, oh my god, it's not real, it's fake. I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't care. It's gonna be entertaining. I don't care. That's lame as fuck, not gonna lie. I don't give a fuck, and you don't have to watch. I don't care, man. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do beef with Kai, Your Age, Bruce, all these guys, bro.
Despite how it may come off, I honestly don't think there's anything wrong with Aiden scripting his content. Twitch was practically founded on fake streams designed to bait people, and to this day a lot of what you see is very exaggerated for entertainment. Aiden himself has admittedly been faking content from the very beginning, all the way back on NBA 2K.
Okay, I want to explain the backstory of this video. So chat, this was staged right here. Like I said, I know Jaden personally, and I wanted to give him a video. So I'm basically like trying to chat it up to make it look like a good YouTube video, if that makes sense.
It's you! You're the center! You! Get in! Oh my god!
You might be thinking, how could anyone even think this is real in the first place? Obviously, I could say a lot of his viewers are on the younger side, as with pretty much anyone on Twitch, but I also think a lot of people just don't care. I mean, if the final product is entertaining and it doesn't hurt anyone, why should they? Aiden's entire stream is like a strange reality TV show, with a long list of celebrity cameos. They were always a bit crass and definitely wild, but ultimately inoffensive. If this is where our story ended, there'd definitely be a few people who wouldn't like him, but overall it'd be a happy ending, and in some ways even inspiring. But of course, things are never that simple. While a lot of the controversy Aiden got himself into was either fake or played up for the audience, there were also some very real scandals. Aiden is a possible candidate for the most banned streamer on Twitch. His first ban lasted a week in 2020 for streaming with someone else who was already banned. The next year in April, he'd be banned again after Zeus did this on his stream.
This nigga gay, bro. This nigga, he's a full-blown bro. Do not come here, bro. This nigga gay, bro.
The next month, he'd get another one-day ban after getting his dick sucked in GTA. In July, he'd be banned for 3 more days after running a red light in his car while reading chat in his phone. The next year, in April, he got a 1-month ban for saying this about somebody who was DDoSing him.
He did you again? He got you again?
Yes, bro. Like, this kid's
No!
In In early 2023, he got his 6th ban, this time lasting a week, again for having sex in GTA. He would also receive several bans on TikTok for streaming himself taking a shit.
This is just getting ridiculous. I just got banned again from TikTok taking a poop. What's the problem with going to the bathroom? It's a human nature thing. I'm just taking a poop on the bathroom of the TikTok. I'm live. Who cares? It's ridiculous. Stop banning me, TikTok.
While a lot of his bans were the result of overly strict policies or genuine mistakes, he also just made a lot of outright bad decisions. First and foremost,
Yo, you're in trouble.
Why?
Oh shit. That crypto shit.
in 2021, Adin would promote a cryptocurrency called MILF token. His promotion would see the trading volume of the coin go up by millions of dollars before violently crashing to zero.
The day of Adin Ross's promo, they got $19 million in 24-hour volume.
After the crash, Adin would go on stream and say this.
By the way, that MILF token shit I did a while back, shit, I got paid a bag to do that shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. How many of you guys actually bought it?
Following that clip, he started his bizarre beef with Rice Gum, saying, "People think this shit fake, so I can take mines off a crypto scam, which I never did. Haven't done any scams, so shut the fuck up." It's hard to say for sure if he even understood why people were mad at him to begin with. Even if you know Adin is sometimes putting on a character, you might still be confused how somebody could be that stupid.
Because I think there's a quote from Hitler saying OnlyFans is the second Holocaust, and he said that before he even did the first one, so I'm sure you'd agree with that at least, right?
Wait, Hitler said OnlyFans is the Holocaust?
It was in the second version of Mein Kampf, but I think that ISIS burned that down when they invaded Germany last.
What the fuck? There's a second Mein Kampf?
What a lot of people seem to miss is that this is exactly why people watch Adin to begin with. His entire stream has always revolved around him being the butt of every joke, and it's not like he doesn't know that. I'm not saying Adin is secretly some sort of mastermind. That'd be like saying the writers of SNL are geniuses because they somehow convinced you Elon Musk was actually Wario. At the same time, I definitely don't think Adin is as stupid as he might at first seem. I'm not even sure it's possible to be that stupid. A lot of people online just desperately want someone to dunk on. They often don't consider or even care if the person they're dunking on is being genuine. And of course, Adin plays into that. He carefully walks the line of putting on an act and sincerely just being dumb. But if this all ended at promoting a blatant crypto scam, I probably wouldn't be making this video. Plenty of people bigger than Adin Ross have promoted much worse. It's what happened next that really makes his story unique. Seemingly out of nowhere in 2022, Andrew Tate began to take over the internet. At the time, he was mainly on TikTok, but that was soon about to change. He had just started doing the rounds on various shows and podcasts. And sensing an opportunity, Adin reached out to see if he wanted to come on one of his E-Date streams. And to his surprise, Andrew agreed. Immediately after announcing the stream, there was a level of backlash given Andrew Tate's reputation. But how bad could things really be? Plenty of controversial things have happened on Adin's stream before, but at the end of the day, it's always been pretty lighthearted. Entertainment has always come first. And the idea of seeing Andrew Tate, someone who's been branded as a blatant misogynist, going on a Discord E-Date is admittedly pretty funny. Surprisingly, that dynamic would actually end up being the most boring part of the stream. Things really picked up when, in between flirting with various OnlyFans models, Andrew began to dissect Adin's life.
Andrew, are there ever days where you don't feel like working out or you don't feel like doing work?
Every fucking day, I don't feel like doing things that I still do. It's called discipline. It's called being a man. It's not about feeling like doing it. If you only do things you feel like doing, you know what you end up doing?
What?
You end up sitting around with a belly, drinking soya fucking latte bullshit. That's what you end up doing if you only do what you feel like doing. You need to do what you're supposed to do, not what you feel like fucking doing.
Okay.
That's the difference between a man and a fucking child. You do not become a man doing what you feel like doing. You become a man doing what you're supposed to fucking do. The men on the Titanic didn't feel like dying that day. Nope. It is your duty to not be a fat piece of shit. Okay. But you fucking it up because of a lack of motivation.
Nah, bro, what the fuck? You're dead serious.
Am I laughing?
Piece by piece, he dismantled him. Whether it was all part of another act or something more, I can't say. But Adin seemed to be shaken by the whole experience. After the stream ended, Adin would post on his alt account, "That stream changed me. Holy fuck." In the following months, he'd have Andrew on several more times to talk about his life. And seemingly the advice he gave couldn't have come at a better time for Adin. Off camera, he was actually going through one of the worst points in his life. Gambling had arguably been a part of Adin's streams since the very beginning. When when he was doing wager matches on NBA 2K. In 2020, he started gambling more seriously on a site called Roobet, and in August of that year, they'd offer him an official sponsorship for $25,000. By this point, he'd already lost $3,000 of his own money. He'd jokingly write, "I'm making my money back. I don't give a fuck what I have to do. Yes, I'm an addict." This partnership with Roobet quickly grew to him making nearly $2 million a month, and on top of that, they'd even cover his losses. By 2022, he had already been offered an even better deal by a competing gambling site named Stake, paying him nearly $1 million a week. On the surface, he had never been better, but anyone doing the math would immediately know something wasn't right. Adin had been taking loss after loss and even gambling off stream. He clearly hadn't been showering or taking care of himself either.
I ain't gonna lie to you guys, if you tell by my hair, you guys can tell by my hair when you look at my hair. I have not showered in like 4 days, bro, I'm being honest. You guys gotta try to tweet at me in the day to remind me to shower and shit.
Somewhere along the line, he started gambling with his own money, and by early April, Adin admitted he had already lost over $8 million.
Yup, 2 minutes left in the game, Gabe, and you saw it, and Gabe, I was gonna make 300 bands. And then Gabe, I wanted to chase the 300K, so I loaded up money and I lost money. I lost $1 million. I'm down $8.5 million in total gambling, bro. So from here on out, I'm letting you guys know right now, I'm only gonna deposit a certain amount on stream every day when I have to gamble. And if you guys make me deposit more and you spam like more, you don't care about me, bro. You don't like me. You don't love me. You don't fuck with me.
To make matters worse, his entire deal with Stake was jeopardized when Twitch announced they'd be banning all gambling content by October 18th. On top of that, just a few days before the ban took effect, Adin broke up with his longtime girlfriend, Pammy.
This is a direct message to Adin. Was the content and money at my expense and my mental health worth it? Was it worth it?
Less than a full month after their breakup, Pammy would start an OnlyFans.
Me and my girlfriend broke up.
Why did you and your girlfriend break up?
Okay, so hear this, right? We broke up. I just feel like it was more of an outgrown type of thing. We both wanted different things. And then she made an OnlyFans yesterday.
On its own, this was probably already very painful, but being vulnerable with his stream only opened Adin up to a new level of harassment. While there's a lot of people who passively enjoy watching him and never type anything in his chat that isn't either a W or an L, there's seemingly just as many people who enjoy actively messing with him. On the tamer end are people who make anti-Semitic jokes about his Jewish heritage and send him screenshots of either his sister or one of his ex-girlfriend's OnlyFans accounts.
I might have been joking, bro. That shit is just too far, bro. That's not even funny, bro. Y'all just literally showed me my naked sister.
On the more extreme end are people who have doxed and swatted him multiple times. It seems no matter where he moves, several police cars soon follow. It's safe to say this was Adin's lowest point. Arguably, this all only pushed Adin closer to Andrew Tate, when in early December he'd fly over 16 hours to visit him in Dubai. While there, they'd go live to play chess against one another for $20,000. As the stream went on and Adin began to lose, he slowly came to the realization that the game was meant as a metaphor.
You have something that I didn't have at your age. At your age, I was struggling to find food to eat, right? Struggling to find money. You don't have to worry about that. So there's no excuse for you to not be in fantastic shape. There's no excuse for you not to have an iron mentality. There's no excuse not to have your life entirely in order. This is my exact point. You are in an advantageous chess position. You're just wasting it.
If you lose in chess, it means somewhere along the way, you made a mistake. Seemingly, Adin had made a lot of the right moves in life. He was famous, had millions of dollars in the bank, and only just turned 22. But underneath all that was someone addicted to gambling, who lost the girl they loved, wouldn't shower for days on end, and was hated by the very people he dedicated his life to entertain. While his views were higher than ever, he was at his lowest point. Something had to change. When he got home, Adin shaved his head after promising Andrew he would, and started working out more consistently. Hundreds of TikTok edits would pop up overnight of the two of them together, painting the picture that Andrew had in some way saved Adin's life. But while some people saw Andrew as Adin's savior, there were just as many people who saw the way he treated him as exploitative and predatory. And it's not like they didn't have a point. Andrew didn't come on his stream just because he was feeling friendly that day. If you listen to the stream for more than 5 minutes, you'll see he had a pretty obvious goal.
A lot of guys are asking me how you get rich. I'll tell you how you get rich. You go to CobraTate.com and you join Hustlers University. I have a school that teaches people how to make money online with 18 modern wealth creation methods.
At one point, Andrew very bluntly admitted to getting several thousand new signups every time he showed up.
That's completely fine. You're not going to reduce our subscriber number. Every single time I do one of these Twitches, we get 3, 4, 5, 6,000 new students. Everything's going fantastic for us.
Andrew was using Adin. That's not up for debate. But it goes both ways. Their first stream together peaked at over 250,000 live viewers, a milestone Adin hasn't surpassed to this day. He likely saw Andrew as a golden opportunity and used him to generate as many viral clips as he could. All he had to do was play into what people already wanted to believe, that Adin was this dumb, lost kid who just needed some guidance, and that Andrew was his savior. Though it's hard to say for sure where the act ends and reality begins. For a while, everything was going to plan. But working so closely with someone as controversial as Andrew Tate was bound to have its consequences. On December 29th, Andrew would be arrested in Romania on human trafficking charges, leaving Adin in disbelief.
The Matrix has attacked me.
Once behind bars, it was widely reported that Adin was one of only 5 people Andrew was accepting for visitation.
Andrew Tate, I'm on my way. I will see you in Romania, G.
Despite this, Adin would never actually visit Andrew in prison. Apparently, the Romanian prosecutor refused access to anyone who wasn't a direct family member. Andrew's arrest, unsurprisingly, sparked levels of media attention previously unseen, and by proxy, Adin's every move was now under a magnifying glass. As one of Adin's idols famously said, "I feel the pressure now, under more scrutiny. And what I do, act more stupidly." If he had just relaxed his content for a while, it's possible we wouldn't be talking about him today. But of course, that's not how things played out. By this point, Adin had already been repeating some of the red-pilled manosphere talking points you'd see from people like Sneeko, Fresh and Fit, and of course Andrew Tate himself.
If he keeps going down this pipeline, he's gonna turn into like another Sneeko. He's just gonna be banned from everything. It's good that he's like bettering himself. These are concepts that I'm on board with, but this like no-fap, weird fucking right-wing shit is not good.
On the surface is an ideology Adin has been preaching for years. Better yourself, follow your dreams, never give up. He's talked about going to the gym and working on himself long before he met Andrew. Underneath this positivity, however, is the idea that Western culture is to blame for a lot of society's problems, that there's a vague matrix or cabal of powerful people controlling the world that want to keep you broke and depressed, and that Andrew Tate knows their secrets and will share them with you for a price. Inshallah. The cabal part inevitably attracts a few people who deny certain specific historic events that I'm not sure I can discuss under YouTube's policies. In the weeks following Andrew Tate's arrest, Adin seemingly became more radicalized and fell further down this bizarre rabbit hole.
Why can I not say fuck you, you fat piece of shit, without a Twitter motherfucker saying canceled, fat shaming? If you are ever getting fucking cyberbullied, lock your phone, turn it off, and put it down. Walk outside and do some fucking push-ups.
This, understandably, made the higher-ups at Twitch nervous. Eventually, someone who I can only assume was Adin's partner manager called him with a very clear warning.
I was silenced, and I'm gonna tell you what I was silenced by and what happened. So I basically got a call. I'm not gonna say specifically who it was, but you know who you are. And you basically said, hey man, if you keep doing controversial stuff and you keep saying certain things and you keep basically, promoting certain things on your stream, we're gonna have to take you down indefinitely. So I got a threat, and the first thing I did was I laughed at that because I thought to myself, it's like, this is really like being silenced. That made me think and realize like, this is not safe. I can't come with this new mindset on this platform that I stream on and basically do what I want freely.
This only further played into Adin's narrative. The Matrix had finally set its sights on him, and it was only a matter of time before they made their move. Fortunately for Adin, a new competitor to Twitch named Kick had cropped up overnight, mainly motivated to avoid the ban on gambling content. You see, Kick was founded by a guy named Eddie, who also happens to be a co-founder of Adin's main gambling sponsor. Given their ongoing relationship, Eddie reached out to see if Adin wanted to continue their gambling sponsorship on Kick, where he'd be more free to do what he wants. To no one's surprise, Adin was open to the idea.
I'm not permanently full-time going there. I want to feel it out, and I want to make sure my community fucks with it too. But what I will say is this. I'm going to Kick this week. I'm going to be doing Omegle, watching live sports, watching movies, prank phone calls, doing unlimited. We can literally watch porn together. I can jerk off with you. No, I'm still celibate. But if I wanted to, we can do whatever the fuck we want. There's no terms of service over there. You guys can say whatever you want on my chat. Nobody can get fucking banned. If you believe some shit and you want to type that shit, say whatever the fuck you want. Everything is allowed.
Over the coming weeks, Adin would spend a majority of his time streaming on Kick, only briefly going live on Twitch to funnel his viewers over. His unique interpretation of Kick's terms of service, or lack thereof, led to some of his most unhinged streams yet. He'd start his first stream on Kick by watching the Super Bowl in its entirety, which sparked a debate on the legality of the stream and whether or not the NFL could sue Adin and Kick for hosting it, which, yes, they could. His chat also quickly devolved into racial slurs and swastikas. It almost felt like Adin was testing the limits of what he could do now, often reacting to openly anti-Semitic or racist content that would have easily gotten him banned on Twitch.
Train, you watching?
Yeah, one sec, sir. I'm in Rust. Go ahead.
A lot more than that. There was a lot. All right, slow down. All right, hey. First of all, you don't know my story. All right, slow down, fat ass.
Are you watching this on stream?
His unhinged behavior would seemingly peak in late February, when he'd stream himself browsing Pornhub to over 50,000 viewers.
There's no fucking way.
What?
You're just having this on stream.
Is that bad? Wait, how old are you guys in the chat, bro? Jesus. Okay. I didn't know that.
The next day, Adin would be banned on Twitch again, and this time it was permanent. But as luck would have it, he had just signed a contract to go full-time on Kick a few days earlier. There, he'd go live and say this.
I'm permanently banned on Twitch. It's done. It's already done. But I got permanently banned for no reason. How do you ban someone on Twitch? And my reasoning is for VOD / on stream when I haven't even been streaming there.
Of all his bans, this one was initially the most confusing, which probably sounds a bit goofy to say given his recent behavior on Kick. Adin's last stream on Twitch was far from noteworthy and only lasted about 20 minutes. His ban came just 21 hours later. By this point, all of his recent streams on Twitch had only served as quick announcements that he was going live on Kick. The last actual stream he did happened a full month before his ban. If he hadn't properly streamed on Twitch for a month now, and he was banned for something that occurred on Twitch, what could he have possibly done? It's worth pointing out that Twitch does reserve the right to ban you for off-platform behavior in their terms of service. And while I think this policy is a bit cringe, I can't imagine anyone would bat an eye in Adin's case. But according to Twitch, something else took place. Because of this inconsistency, there were a lot of people who initially sided with Adin. The day after his ban, Dexerta reported that someone from Twitch told them it was the result of unmoderated, hateful conduct in chat. As the story goes, Adin showed his Kick chat on Twitch while it was being spammed with the usual racial slurs and swastikas. On its own, I honestly don't think this is worth a permanent ban. It's something I could see anyone overlooking or not realizing in the moment. But this wasn't on its own. This was the last straw in a series of problems Adin had caused the platform, coming off the heels of one of his biggest scandals yet. I also can't imagine Twitch was too happy to see Adin blatantly siphoning viewers off their platform. Generally speaking, I'll always side with the creator against the billion-dollar corporation run by people that fucking hate them. But banning Adin Ross wasn't just another episode of Twitch shooting themselves in the foot. It actively pushed him further down whatever path he was already headed at breakneck speed. He could now turn around and say, look at these woke leftists, silencing me, canceling me. They were never there for me to begin with, but after one mistake, they tried to destroy my entire career like it was nothing.
If I had blue hair and did my makeup, would you have banned me Twitch? This is exactly why everyone needs to see Twitch for what it is. It's full of corrupted Karens, and they're pick and choose me. And unless you're a certain person with certain beliefs, then they don't fuck with you. Why is that Twitch is a full liberal platform? If they're just super liberal. Why?
Adin now had another excuse to become even more radicalized and angry at the world. The Matrix was no longer this unknowable, vague entity that he'd joke about with Andrew Tate. It was now the very real establishment at Twitch and various journalists that tried to cancel him. What happened next was as inevitable as it was sad. Adin was very lucky to get banned when he did. If the ban came even one day earlier, his deal with Kick might not have gone through with such favorable terms. According to him and Trainwrecks TV, who's also a co-owner of Kick, Adin's deal with them was the largest streaming deal in history, even surpassing Ninja and Shroud's Mixer deal, worth tens of millions.
You're saying your deal with Kick is the biggest streaming contract deal that you know of? Like you're bigger than Ninja, bigger than Nick Merckx.
I mean, I'm not going to go into specific numbers, but I'm pretty sure it's the biggest streaming deal of all time. I signed you.
It gets messy when it's just streaming deal, because there's a bundle of things in there, but what I will say, the amount is more than all those people, yes.
The bundle of things Train's talking about probably refers to gambling obligations. Whatever the case, Adin knew he was the most valuable streamer Kick had. After investing that much money in him, there's no chance they'd ban him for pretty much anything. And Adin took full advantage of that. He now routinely reacts to videos of Adolf Hitler or people just being openly racist and anti-Semitic. He'd also streamed several conversations with prominent far-right commentator and member of the federal no-fly list, Nick Fuentes, wherein they'd discuss false flag Jewish hate crimes.
I'm looking at these hate crimes by different religions, and anti-Jewish is number one with 683. Could you care to explain?
Well, yeah. What you actually find is that, one, a lot of hate crimes are hoaxes, like Jussie Smollett. That's a famous example. There are a lot of these hate crimes where there'll be a swastika at a Jewish cemetery or something like that, and it's a Jewish person that puts it there.
While it may look like Adin sympathizes with far-right movements and suddenly has a disdain for liberals, the reality is actually much more simple. Adin doesn't care about politics. He never has. Adin cares about one thing, and that's clout.
A lot of your shit's like meant to trigger people.
It's controversial.
That's why it does so well.
Bro, exactly. So you know exactly how it is. You guys have been doing it forever, so.
The crazier he looks, the more people will write articles and make videos about him, unintentionally feeding the very thing they're complaining about. Adin Ross hit pieces have almost become their own genre of journalism. People love to hate him, so much so that some even turned to blatantly lying about him. On February 26th, a thread appeared on Twitter from somebody by the name of Miller Ross. He started by saying, "I am Adin Ross's half-brother. This is not a joke, and a few of you already knew. He was banned on Twitch yesterday and has been making erratic career and life decisions since meeting Andrew Tate." He went on to talk about how they as a family had always been close, but after going through a breakup with his girlfriend, Adin was in a vulnerable position. That's when Andrew Tate swooped in and began to radicalize him. This would slowly change Adin and tear their family apart. It's a really tragic story, but that's all it is. A story. While this guy's real name actually is Miller Ross, that's about the only real thing in this thread. He mentions Adin flying to Romania to visit Andrew Tate in prison, which never happened. Miller also refused to respond to any DMs or provide any proof of his relationship with Adin. He would later claim that him being suspended on Twitter for impersonation and then later unsuspended was proof enough, which, if you know anything about Twitter suspensions, is meaningless. It'd literally just take one picture together to prove there was any sort of connection at all, but Miller would rather spend his time starting change.org petitions. Obvious inconsistencies like these didn't stop the thread from being viewed over 6 million times, or reported on by so-called journalists. It also didn't stop Miller from later going on stream claiming Adin was actively in contact with him.
Adin don't know you. Oh, wow. That's funny because I've DM'd him the other day. Did you? We've been messaging each other this whole fucking time. Does he know you? No, he doesn't know you, does he? Oh no. Cry, bitch, cry.
To this day, there's probably thousands of people who still believe the threat was real, but that's exactly why I bring it up. It played into how people already felt. Adin went from this starry-eyed kid excited to meet LeBron to somebody completely obsessed with chasing clout by doing the most controversial or crazy thing you can think of. In fairness, he's always been like that to a degree. This is just the natural progression of his personality and values taken to their absolute limit. There was nothing holding him back anymore, and insane people like Miller only motivated him to be more insane in return. On March 1st would come a stream much worse than anything else he had made up to this point. He'd drag viewers into a call and offer them thousands of dollars to do whatever he and his friends wanted. They kicked the first contestant for refusing to take a shit on his kitchen floor.
Would you shit on the kitchen floor?
Bro, like my family's down there.
I know.
I'll get kicked out. What the fuck?
After that, they paid someone $2,000 to walk out on court during a basketball game. He then paid a viewer who was just down on their luck another several thousand. But things really picked up when this guy joined.
Tell me what to do, bro.
You'll do anything?
I mean, hey, my sister's sound asleep in the other room.
All right, I'll tell you what. This is what you do. If you pee in that thingy, okay, and then you fill it with water too, it's like ice cold water plus your urine. Yes, and then put ice in it plus your pee, okay? If you do that, and then you wake her up to that, and then you smash your TV, I will give you $7,000.
Clearly, this wasn't gonna end well, but thankfully someone from Kick texted Adin warning him to stop.
Wait. I got a text from the higher up saying this P might be a little bit too far.
They went forward anyway, replacing the P with whatever they could find in this guy's fridge. As planned, he went into her room, poured the mixture on her, and smashed her TV with a baseball bat, while Adin and his friends watched with glee. When the next contestant came on, Adin went back to trying to get him to piss on his sibling, after finding out they were a fan of Hassan.
Wait, I actually had an idea. Stand up over your brother and pee on him, and that'll hit. That'll be good. So he doesn't know what, like, live streaming is?
Yeah. No, he knows what that is, but he doesn't know who you are. He watches fucking Lasan.
Oh my god, this is even hitting more piss.
This time, the only thing that stopped him was the guy's internet cutting out. The next day, not satisfied, Adin came back for more. He got a guy to tattoo a penis on his leg, and another guy to smash his girlfriend's phone and their TV. Fans of Adin will say he's giving people life-changing amounts of money for comparatively minor acts, although I really question their definition of life-changing. A couple $1,000 may seem nice now, but it probably isn't worth still having a dick tattoo when I'm in my late 30s. Getting people in their early 20s to do this stuff is some borderline sociopathic shit, and Adin knows that. He probably thinks the more deranged he looks, the more views he'll get and the more news articles will be written about it. He wants people like me to make videos like this. The goal at the end of the day, as it always has been with Adin, is clout. Only a few weeks later, he'd get himself into hot water again when he said this on stream.
Mixed cocktail. My pronouns are Z, Zem, Zir, and Zirs. I would refer to mixed cocktail. Mixed C is my teacher.
So cringe, bro. To all you guys that get to pick your pronouns, my pronouns is kill/them, okay? Fuck all y'all, bro. Y'all are making the world a shitty place, bro. I'm gonna call you either a guy or a girl. I don't give a fuck, bro. Fuck all y'all, bro. Self-entitled pussies.
By this point, even Trainwreck and other people working at Kick were at their breaking point. They asked Adin to apologize and clarify what he meant, which led to this.
There's a clip on Twitter that's been ongoing on all these blog places. Basically something I said about offending some type of group of people. And I just want to, from the bottom of my heart, apologize for absolutely fucking nothing. Okay? I'm Adin Ross, and Adin Ross is going to say whatever the fuck he says. Nah, that was great. Yo, nah. Listen, real shit though. Real shit. Y'all know damn well, bro, that we live in a crazy fucking world in 2020, 2023.
All right. Well, the owners and I agree. We're gonna have to have a serious talk with them and set some shit straight. Because this is just not. Just don't get it. Like what he just did right there is not what he said privately. What he just did right there was giving into the clout and fearing that he's gonna look like a bitch to his viewers. That's a sign of insecurity and immaturity. And not to mention, you would be 6 times your size if you put your foot down and you led your community instead of being led by them. What you did right there about saying, oh, I apologize for nothing. That wasn't you. I know who you are off stream. That wasn't you. That was literally the insecure you that's pandering to a bunch of kids and is fearful of what those kids might think of him if he apologized. You're scared of what kids will think of you because you'll look like a bitch to kids. Who fucking cares? If you're a leader and you're truly confident and successful, you don't give a fuck what a bunch of fucking 18-year-olds think about you.
It's easy to cross a line when you're so deeply lost you don't even know it's there. To Adin, it seems the world is very simple. That everything is a joke and anybody with criticism is acting in bad faith or trying to cancel him. And he's not entirely wrong for thinking that. Understandably, there's an extreme lack of charitability given to Adin. So much so that it's become a joke within his community to post intentionally misleading clips of him or fake quotes to bait lazy journalists. And you'd be surprised how well it works. In many ways, Adin is in too deep. And I think he knows it. There's too many people who not only hate him, but actively want to hate him. And he often just gives them what they want instead of what's real. For example, you might have heard that Adin has been going around falsely copyright claiming other people's videos, stealing their money, and laughing about it all on stream.
Put a W in the chat. We stole $8,000 from him. W. He needed that. Yes.
Pretty evil, right? I mean, it definitely would be if the claim wasn't manually removed by the time Adin was reacting to it, which is something this guy went out of his way not to mention, to the point where YouTube themselves had to clarify. Adin also didn't take $8,000 from him. Even if the claim went through, that's just not how the copyright system works at all. But that's not even the best part. Adin had no involvement in any of it to begin with. Thumb Media Affiliate, the company who filed the claim, is what's known as a digital rights manager, or DRM. Creators outsource their copyright disputes to companies like these so they don't have to deal with them on their own. This is especially helpful to streamers, who often have their content blatantly stolen before they get a chance to upload it themselves. That being said, sometimes these companies have been known to go too far, abusing YouTube's content ID system, automatically claiming any video even mentioning their clients. It seems in Adin's case, they were broadly claiming videos and only reviewing them once they were disputed. They'll probably claim this video too. Don't get me wrong, it's still extremely annoying, but what you'll notice is that Adin had zero involvement in or knowledge of any of Thumb Media's decisions. Was he still happy to see them getting claimed on his behalf? Maybe. It's hard to say, but either way, he's exaggerating his involvement. You have to consider why someone would do that. Put yourself in his shoes. Everyone already hates you. You could either hopelessly grovel at their feet, profusely apologizing for a copyright claim that wasn't even your fault, or you could just own it, becoming the villain they desperately want you to be. Being seen as the bad guy is ironically the best thing that could have happened to Adin after getting banned. It kept his name in the news and had people coming back to see what he'd do next. The same things that are ruining his reputation and turning everyone against him are paradoxically what's keeping him going. While it's hard to say how much of that was intentional, the only real question is how long can he keep it up for? If he doesn't keep upping the stakes at every turn, people will quickly get bored. Adin is in some ways misunderstood, and that's mostly his fault. I mean, who wants to take the time to understand the crypto scammer who's begging his fans to piss on each other? And why bother trying to understand him anyways? Even if I could dispute some of the things that have been said about him, I certainly can't dispute everything. His reputation might be beyond repairing at this point. From the very beginning, Adin's only goal has been to make it to the top. Whatever the cost, whatever it took, he was gonna get there. And while that dream might have become reality, it's hard to see it as anything but a nightmare with how much he lost along the way.
Truthfully, bro, if you guys want my honest opinion, there's actually never enough, I feel like, in this world. You can never get enough of something. Do you understand what that means? There's always another like goal or objective or mission you gotta complete. How many followers, how many dollars, how much fucking, you know, how much more does it get to, man? Like, when does it ever stop? And before you know it, when you're working towards obtaining the non-satisfaction fucking goal, whether it's dollars, followers, whatever, you miss out on so much life chasing it instead of fucking being in the moment and admiring like what you got.